So an evaluation of today, that's really for you, as I said at the start, to give us an idea of how you feel this meeting went, what you thought was good, what you thought was bad, what you thought was good, and just help us to make these events better for you to learn a bit more about. Part of evaluation is to ask you, are there any questions of the trustees, any of the trustees that anybody might have? Oh, good. Oh, hang on.
It's been lovely having you all in Cardiff. Croeso fawr I Cymru, and do come again.
Well, we've enjoyed it here. I love Cardiff. I think I said to a few people earlier, my best man lives in Cardiff. His father was the chief lawyer for Wales. So he's got a history here, and I've come here a lot, mainly for rugby, to be fair. Not supporting Wales, I hasten to add, I'm afraid, although I do appreciate their rugby. So, but thank you. We try and get around the country and visit as many parts of the country as we can, because GIST unfortunately affects everybody throughout the world. We've not been to Northern Ireland yet, but I think that's in the pipeline at some stage in the future. After we've done a bit of research as to what sort of impact we might have over there. So, but yeah, we've loved coming to, and the weather's been fantastic to sit inside all day with. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, discussion is something I think everybody likes to do. So feel free for the next 10-15 minutes to. Oh, sorry, there is one more thing. Yes, I did forget. I'm sorry. Stella would like to tell you about something that she's done in communication with Aviva. So let me just hand you over to her.
Right, I just wanted to give you a heads up, really. Oh, sorry. Give you a heads up of the first thing that I've done as a trustee, and that is to apply for some funding through the Aviva Community Fund. And this gives you an opportunity to make a application for funding for local causes, things where you can demonstrate that you can really make a difference in terms of your community. And the funding that's available is in pots of between £1,000 and £25,000. And I've put together a small bid asking for £10,000 to support the work of the Pause GIST Cancer Clinic. And the process is you put in your application, that goes through a moderation process, and then once it's accepted, then it's your job, or the job of the people that are putting in the application, to try to get as many votes for the bid as possible. And then once they've totted up all of the votes, then the bids that have got the highest number of votes become the finalists, and then it goes to a judging panel, and they'll make the final decisions regarding who they're going to award the funding to. So we're going through the process. I've put in the application. It's gone through the moderation process, and it's been successful in the health and well-being category. So now, and this is why I want to talk about it today, we're waiting for the voting to open. And the voting is going to open on the 24th of October, and it closes on the 21st of November. So during that window, we want to try to get as many votes as possible. So what I'm asking is for you to keep an eye out. We will be promoting it. Tori's going to be promoting it through all of the social media channels. We're going to be putting information on the website. But I thought if I spoke to you about it now, then you can start to sort of warm up your family and friends, because the more people that know about it, the more people that vote for us, then the greater our chances are of being successful. I don't think, from what I can gather, that it's a difficult process. I think it's a question of going onto the website. You will be sent the link. You go onto the website. You look down the list, as I say, within the health and well-being category. The title of the particular bid is Pause GIST Cancer Clinic, and it'll have a reference number. I'll give you all those details. And my understanding is you just simply click on the link, go on there, and give it your vote. But if you could start to tell people that it's coming, and then once you receive that link, if you can disperse it through your networks, friends, family, supporters, anybody you know, because as I say, points means prizes. The more votes we get, the greater the chance we have got of securing some funding. Okay? Oh, corporate. Well, I might hand back over to you, Nick. We were talking over lunch about corporate funding, weren't we? And corporate and social responsibility.
Yes, Tori earlier was talking about fundraising and things like that, and I explained what it is we use fundraising for. One thing she didn't mention, which she's reminded me to talk about, is companies nowadays have a corporate social responsibility to help charities. Now, we were very lucky 2 years ago, well, sort of double-edged sword really, lucky in that UK TV chose us as their charity of the year. The unfortunate reason for that was one of their senior, she was the controller of UK TV, who, by the way, if you've never heard of them, they do Dave Gold and all those sorts of things, all those channels. Well, she has a gist, and she put her name in the hat, or our name in the hat, along with lots of other charities from other members of staff, and ours was chosen. And they actually raised in excess of £80,000 for us. And they do this every year with a different charity. They do various different events during the year and raise money. So if anybody either works for a company that takes on board this social responsibility, or knows of a close friend or relative, that you normally have to have some sort of link with it, then please remember Just Support UK and suggest that, or put them in the hat as being one of the charities of the year for your particular charity.
I've got a friend who works for Barclays Bank, and apparently they do match funding. So if you work for Barclays Bank and you do some fundraising for a particular charity, then whatever you raise, then Barclays will equal that amount. So I don't know, if anybody's got friends or family that work for Barclays Bank, you might have an opportunity to get some match funding through Barclays.
Just to, I suppose, help you understand why that is so important. Obviously, for meetings such as this, we do receive assistance from pharma companies to be able to put on meetings like this. But the other funding that we're talking about, the whole reason behind it is to try and stimulate research. And thus far, the money we've raised has helped us to establish the National GIST Tissue Bank. Basically, when a patient wants to donate their tissue, we help to organise transportation of that fresh tissue. We coordinate the collection of the tissue, and then we organise the transportation. And that is a specialist job, because it's being transported fresh frozen along with blood samples directly to the bank. And that can cost for each individual patient to happen, if it's nearby, £250. We recently did one from Germany because it was for an ultra rare tissue, and that was £900 for that one tissue to be transported. So it's quite expensive, as you see, but it's necessary, because unless researchers have easy access to the raw materials that they need for their research, they will go and do other research into other types of tumours, and we want them to concentrate on researching GIST. In a similar way, obviously, when on the rare occasion when somebody discovers, having done their medical training, that actually they'd like to concentrate on research, and even rarer, that they actually say we'd like to do some research into GIST, then we have now, in a small way, started to be able to offer funding to people who need funding to be able to perform that research. And we are currently either fully or part funding 3 research projects. And we are anticipating being approached in relation to funding other research projects. So that's why this whole focus on endeavouring to raise funds and raise it in your awareness so that you understand what we're doing with it. That's why it's not just to put on necessarily more meetings, it's actually to try and get things moving so that more treatments are available sooner rather than later. Anyway, thank you. That was a quick update.
Okay, right. We're done. Thank you very much for coming. St David Centre, I think that's what they're called, isn't it? Out here, shopping centre is excellent. The weather's nice, so go and fill your boots at the centre. Don't forget, I know I've said it 3 times now, our evaluation form's very, very important to us. And safe journeys home to everybody. Thank you for coming, and we'll look forward to seeing you at another meeting. Oh, tea and coffee outside as well.